and gentlemen, I'm here at the WrestleMania 39 launch party with, all the way up there, Theory.
I'm here. I'm ready. Why aren't you up here? Should we switch?
I don't know. I feel like, did you just have like a massive growth spurt?
You know, I did. You know Lucky Charms? I ate a lot of those yesterday, and for some reason I woke up and I was a little taller. Yeah.
You definitely were. Well, it's working for you.
Well, I appreciate it, you know, and gosh, I never thought I would give advice on growing, but I made it happen, you know what I mean? I made it happen.
You made it happen. Okay, I think we need to, do we want to switch? Should we switch? We should switch. Freaky Friday, let's go. Come on, we did this.
She eats her Lucky Charms. You see that?
I cashed in my money in the bank and got some height.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, maybe when I cash mine in, I'll really be that tall.
Hell yeah. Well, let's talk about that because you did get to win the money in the bank. Tell us what that moment felt like for you and just kind of like soaking it in Las Vegas and how all of that felt.
Yeah, so, you know, everybody knows the money in the bank, how special that is and how much that means when it comes to, you know, WWE. There's the world title you can go after, the WWE title, and now we're in a situation where it's the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. And everybody knows there's nothing bigger than that. Roman Reigns holds that, and that's a hell of a guy to take down. But for me, having that Money in the Bank contract and, you know, being a kid growing up and always loving the ladder match, whether it was the Money in the Bank pay-per-view or whether it was WrestleMania having the Money in the Bank match, everybody knows what that briefcase means. And to me, it's elevated me, it's made me step up my game, and it's made me put my focus on 10. And you know, there was a situation at SummerSlam. It got a little wild. The ring was upside down, you know. So I know I said it was going to be a war out there, but there was a lot of things going on, all right? And I did not cash in, all right? I was on my way to, but, you know, Brock Lesnar, he ruins everything. And, of course, he ran that. So, you know.
You have, you know, basically been in some crazy situations with Brock Lesnar. He's thrown you off of a pod. When Brock Lesnar has given you quite a beating. What is it like to get beaten up by Brock Lesnar?
Well, first thing I'll say is you interviewing and asking those questions, it hurts. It hurts a lot. Like as bad as getting thrown off the Elimination Chamber by Brock Lesnar. It's brutal, but you know what? I'm right here. I'm standing right here, and I'm still talking about it. So is Brock Lesnar really that tough? Because I get up every time, and I still got the Money in the Bank. I'm still going to the top, and Brock Lesnar, well, he's just a cowboy, right? That's it. He's just a cowboy.
Just a cowboy. You heard it here first. Now, Theory, I do want to ask you because, you know, this has been, I would say, it feels like your year, you know. You went up to the main roster. You've been doing all of this stuff. We've been talking about the Money in the Bank and how, you know, you could win the championship. You could dethrone Roman Reigns and all of that good stuff. So I want to ask you, did you expect your main roster run to go the way that it has been so far?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, not at all. You know what? I always make sure that I have everything in order and I work my hardest and I'm prepared for everything that's thrown at me. But I don't think in a million years anybody could have guessed me getting drafted to Raw and, you know, being in the Royal Rumble, being in the Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship, having opportunities at WrestleMania, being in the ring with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mr. McMahon, and everybody knows the legacy there. And then on top of that, becoming the youngest Mr. Money in the Bank, and on top of that, also becoming the youngest United States champion. I don't think so, but it's been a hell of a ride, I'll say that.
You've been really stacking up those accomplishments, I think, and like even hearing everything that you kind of just said right now, like running through, it's pretty crazy, you know, to think about that. And let's touch a little bit on Mr. McMahon because obviously, you know, Vince recently retired and you were one of the talents that was really working with him the closest on screen, you know, the last couple of months, you know, everything that you guys did with the egg and everything that went on from there. So for you, what was your reaction to Vince McMahon's retirement? And that's my first question. My follow-up question to that, though, I'm going to ask you already is, what was the best thing that you learned from Vince McMahon himself?
So I would say the best thing I learned from Mr. McMahon, as funny as it was that we said it on TV, but the, you know, like the mindset that he always had and basically the thing about, trying to think of it, expect the unexpected. I don't know why it slipped my mind, but that's something that when he said that, it was like, wow, this is pretty much how it works. Like, You know, like when we talk about my career, expect the unexpected. Like I wouldn't have expected all of that to happen. But yeah, I think with Mr. McMahon retiring, I think we would have never seen that day. We all felt like we would never see that day. But, you know, and John Cena recently said it, if there was a Mount Rushmore of sports entertainment, it would have one person on it, and it would be Mr. McMahon. And I believe in that as well, just because he's an icon. There's nobody that's created something as huge as this and made it as successful as this as Mr. McMahon. And, you know, Triple H even says it. Those are some hell of a size shoes to fill, you know. And I feel like WWE never stops, and it's never going to stop. And we all know the legacy that Mr. McMahon, you know, held for this place. And now it's time to do what he wants, and that's to keep it going.
And you mentioned Triple H, and obviously he's now doing running creative for WWE, and also Stephanie McMahon, you know, his wife is chairwoman, co-CEO, along with Nick Khan. As a talent, how do you feel about the changes that you're seeing within WWE, and how do you feel, or how has it been with Triple H, you know, running creative?
Yeah, so I knew Triple H back when I was in NXT. And I had a great time, and then I came up to the main roster, and I still had a great time, you know. I think change always could scare people because it's different, and there's not that comfort level of what you're used to. But with change, I feel like, and especially with somebody like Stephanie and Nick Khan and Triple H and Bruce Pritchard, there's so much creativity there that I feel like we haven't seen. And I think it's time to have something fresher and newer, you know what I mean? And it's just a bunch of different minds now, and I feel like there's no better group of people to take over this than them.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. And Theory, my last question for you is, you know, we're rounding out almost towards the end of the year, but in terms of goals, what are your goals, you know, heading from now to WrestleMania 39? When we come back and, you know, we hopefully talk again, WrestleMania 39, where do you want to be? Like, what's the ideal situation?
You know what? I would say that coming back to WrestleMania 39, I mean, do I save the cash-in for WrestleMania 39? Do I save it for Roman Reigns again? Or do I save it for possibly The Rock if he beats Roman Reigns, if that's even going to happen? Or do I walk into WrestleMania 39, the new, youngest, undisputed WWE Universal Champion, and face John Cena? Who knows? It's just a theory. It's just a theory.
Just a theory. Well said. Thank you so much, Theory, for chatting with me today, and I'll let you go to enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.